terms of a couple of anecdotes. The first one actually happened in a court of law in the state of Massachusetts. An attorney was cross-examining a forensic pathologist. And the attorney was kind of curmudgeonly, sloppily dressed, kind of mean-looking. And the doctor was very well-dressed, very mild-mannered, well-groomed, quiet. And the dialogue went something like this. Dr. Smith, before you began this autopsy, did you make sure the patient wasn't still alive? For example, did you check his breathing? Well, I didn't do that. I'm sorry, I didn't do that. But Dr. Smith, surely you checked the patient's pulse before you began the autopsy. I didn't do that either. I'm sorry. Well, Dr. Smith, how did you know for sure the patient wasn't still alive before you began the autopsy? Well, for one thing, his brain was in a jar sitting on my desk. But this attorney was so lacking in emotional intelligence, he had such a strong agenda that was more important to him than hearing anything, that he didn't hear the information coming to him. His agenda was more important than the other person's statement. So he continued his linear logical line of reasoning, which he didn't want to give up. Dr. Smith, despite all that, is it not possible the patient was still alive? Well, the patient might have been alive without a brain and practicing law somewhere. That's the absence of emotional intelligence, where someone has an agenda that they hold on to so tight that they don't get the information coming in. It's slightly exaggerated, but it happens all the time with all of us. We all have our agendas which keep us from listening closely to other people because we're afraid we'll lose our agenda. That's what keeps us from listening to other people too closely. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if there's one thing you take away from tonight, that's the one thing I want you to take with you. We're afraid of listening closely for fear of losing sight of our own agenda. That's the basic premise of my whole talk tonight.